Imagine being one of the most famous people on the planet, and then in a single second, you just disappear. No photos, no videos, no real updates. For over a decade, the world has been looking at a total blank space where Michael Schumacher used to be. It is probably the biggest mystery in the history of sports. But now, the wall of silence is finally starting to show some cracks. For 12 years, Michael has been hidden away behind the gates of massive estates. We're talking about $30 million mansions in Majorca and huge homes on the shores of Lake Geneva. Since that terrible day in the French Alps, his life has been a complete ghost story. But word is finally getting out that things are changing. He is no longer stuck in a bed. He's sitting up, he's in a wheelchair, he's being pushed around his gardens to see the sun. This sounds like good news, right? But it actually opens up a much weirder conversation about what has been happening behind those closed doors for all these years. Think about the sheer scale of this operation. Michael has a wife, Corinna, who has been like a general leading an army for 30 years. She has built a literal fortress around him. We're talking about a team of doctors, nurses, and therapists watching him 24 hours a day. This does not come cheap. It costs tens of thousands of dollars every single week just to keep this going. Most people would have run out of money or patience years ago, but the Schumacher family is playing a completely different game. But here's where it gets complicated. When you keep a secret this big for this long, people start to get suspicious. Some people think all of this secrecy is just plain odd. They feel like the fans who spent decades buying his hats, watching his races, and basically paying for those mansions deserve to know something. They feel like the family has completely shut out the very people who made Michael a legend in the first place. Is it really privacy if it feels like a cover-up? On the other side, you have people who say we should all just back off. They argue that Michael owes us nothing. Just because he was fast in a car doesn't mean we own his medical records. They see this wall of silence as the ultimate act of love from a wife trying to protect her husband's dignity. But even if you believe that, you have to admit that the way they've handled it is intense. They have spent years fighting off former staff members who tried to sneak photos of him. People have actually gone to jail for trying to show the world what Michael looks like now. When you have to send people to prison to keep a secret, you aren't just a private family anymore. You are running a high-security intelligence agency. And the rumors, they have been wild. For a long time, people thought he was in a locked-in state, where he was totally conscious but couldn't move anything except his eyes. But now the story is shifting. People close to him are saying he understands some things even if he doesn't get everything. He's present, but he's not the Michael we remember. That is the heartbreaking part of this whole thing. The family wants us to remember the guy in the red suit standing on the podium, not the man in the wheelchair. But can you really hide the truth forever? There were even rumors he would show up at his daughter's wedding, but that turned out to be fake. Every time there's a tiny bit of news, the whole world stops to look. It shows how much people still care, but it also shows how desperate the family is to stay in control. They are spending a fortune to make sure we never see a single frame of video of him. At the end of the day, Michael Schumacher has become a living legend in the most literal sense. He's alive, but he's a legend because he's been turned into a myth. Whether you think the secrecy is beautiful or just plain weird, one thing is for sure. The version of Michael we knew died on that mountain 12 years ago. What's left is a family trying to hold on to a ghost, no matter what it costs or who it upsets. It's a story about love, money, and the terrifying price of fame. And even if he's finally out of bed, the mystery of Michael Schumacher is far from over.